Today we're here on the second anniversary of the second attack on Camp Ashraf. 36 people killed, hundreds wounded. The Maliki regime, under the guidance of the Iranian regime, has so far, by my count, carried out 6 major attacks. 3 on Ashraf and 3 on Liberty. After being promised protection at Camp Liberty, there have been 3 attacks on Camp Liberty, with people killed at Camp Liberty, people wounded at Camp Liberty, and people taken hostage from Camp Ashraf also. All of this under a promise of protection. Years and years of promises of protection. From the US, from the UN, over the last 3 years from the United Nations, from Secretary of State Hillary Clinton, from other people in the State Department, promises of protection, and what has the end result been? Massacre. Killing. A long time ago, I said that Camp Liberty would be a concentration camp. Not a detention camp, a concentration camp. The UN now vindicates that view in their report that Madame Rajavi showed you. But it's worse than I thought. It's not a detention camp. It's a killing field. These people are in jeopardy of being killed as we speak to them today, as they listen to us tomorrow or the next day. This should not be in the modern world. This should not be in a world with the United Nations. This should not be in a world with the United States when promises have been made. And why are these promises being broken? They're being broken for the worst of reasons. Why is my country ignoring its promises to protect these people as they are being slaughtered? Why are they turning their back? Why is the United States turning its back on the written evidence of protection each and every one of these people have been given? Why are we doing that? We're doing it because we don't want to offend Iran.
People are being murdered in Iran because they simply disagree with the mullahs. This is an authoritarian, repressive regime, which is a theocracy. We do not want to tarnish ourselves and undermine our moral standing in the world by making deals with people who will not keep their word, who will not make the world a more peaceful place. And if they say that they will make the world a peaceful place, let them show it by letting the 3,000 people at Liberty, let them go and let them be relocated in Europe and the United States as they should be. Let them do that. Any deal that we make with the mullahs must be, part of that deal must be the freedom of the people at Camp Liberty, which the United States of America, in writing, promised 10 years ago to uphold. How long can we violate our promises to 3,000 unarmed people while we make deals with people who haven't yet to keep a promise to the United States of America? Let us not sell out our own country and our own principles for the short-term diplomatic success.
The consistent denial, not just in the United Nations, but in other U.S.-affiliated and sponsored organizations, to conduct a fair, basic investigation of the mass murders and massacres and genocides which have been occurring at Liberty and Ashraf 6 times over a very short period of time. No one has ever conducted this investigation. So let me make a prediction here today, and let not just our friends in Liberty hear this, but the people who are terrorizing them and killing us hear it also. There is, in the world of forensic evidence, a very powerful ability to reach back and prosecute people who have committed mass murder. So for the people out there who will murder, who will attack Camp Liberty, who will assassinate people, we almost had an ambassador come to the United States who specializes in assassination. There is justice, there is an accounting, and if it takes 5 years or 20 years, or have you seen in some cases 40 or 50 years, that is also the future here, and this should serve as a warning to those people who continue to commit and plan those crimes at the highest level.
We gave our word in 2003. We gave our word that the people of Ashraf would be treated as protected persons under the Geneva Convention. We distributed ID cards. You saw with your own eyes what those ID cards were worth, what effect they had on bullets and on Humvees. As we sit here, the Iraqi government, which is doing the bidding of its surrogates and which is being the surrogate of the government of Iran, are testing whether they can get away with extraditing people from Camp Liberty to Iran. But let me tell you something. We're here to complicate their lives and the lives of all of those in the United States government who have so far failed to get on the right side of things.
You know, the United States has made a promise. We signed a contract. It's a binding contract with the residents first of Camp Ashraf and now of Camp Liberty, that in exchange for giving up their inherent right to defend their families and themselves, in exchange for giving up that right, they would be protected by the United States of America. They have not been protected against attack. We have not protected them. The UN has not protected them. We have exposed them to violence, to death, and to injury. I don't have to go over the inventory of death that we've seen, how many have died, how many have been injured, and God forbid how many are yet to suffer the consequences of our breach of morality and legality to people who gave up their right of self-defense. In more recent years, we created the International Criminal Court. What was the purpose of all that? It was not only to punish the perpetrators after the crimes had been committed, but it was designed to prevent genocide and to prevent crimes against humanity and to prevent the kinds of things that we're seeing happening in Camp Ashraf and Camp Liberty by holding the sword of Damocles, the sword of justice, over the heads of those perpetrators.
When I woke this morning, I thought of the people of Camp Liberty and their struggles. I'm thinking about it now. I will think about them tonight. And I pledge myself, as you pledge yourselves, to think with them, to stand with them, every day until they are honored in Tehran with a new, free, democratic republic. I heard it said that the people of liberty are imprisoned. And indeed, they are surrounded by a wall. I've heard it said that they are victims. And indeed, they suffer their wounds without medical care, sometimes without food. Their property has been stolen. They are fired upon. People of liberty, your suffering is not over, but there's not a person here today who does not stand with you or will ever forget you.